All right, we're live on YouTube right now. It's our first live
YouTube.
podcast.
Oh, wow.
Welcome
Fancy.
to the CLIKPOD podcast. We're probably going to be going live a lot more often, if not for every single episode. Justin, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm frightened now that we're live.
You're live. Anything could happen.
Anything can happen.
Like us talking about the stories that are on clickpop.substack.com. Let's start with one that really shocked me, but I don't know if I believe it, which is that Meghan Markle reportedly received the endorsement, not officially, but behind the scenes, of President Biden's sister, Valerie Biden Owens, to run for president. She thinks that Meghan would be good in the Oval Office. To me, I think this is like one of those Sussex media plant stories to try to drum up some interest in this, but who knows? I mean, you never know. What's your take?
Well, my take is she'd be terrible, absolutely horrible. She doesn't communicate. She hasn't even gone to the front lines of the strikes.
Right.
So
we've been saying she should for a long time.
Yes, and so if she hasn't even gone to the strikes, she's not connecting to the people at all. So I don't think she'd be a great president. She hasn't held office before in any capacity that I'm aware of. She's an actress. I don't know. I have to research her education. I don't know what pedigree she has. We have to see what she brings to the table. I think she should start out slow. Before you play in the NFL, you need to play D1 college ball. So She needs to do something first before running for president. But that being said, I think she'd be doing a better job than Biden.
Maybe Biden's sister does too.
This is a pretty bad administration. This is terrible.
Is it possible that Meghan Markle and Harry paid Valerie Biden Owens out of their foundation for this endorsement? I don't know. You never know with those Bidens.
In Hollywood and Biden families, you have anything is possible when it comes to bribes and money and mysterious things going down. So I don't put it past them.
Yeah. This is the same problem I have with Meghan and Harry with everything that they try to do. They expect that we think they're important and that they can do it and that they deserve these positions. Like the rumors are, I've been trying to find a real good source on this so we can print it, but the rumors are, and have been for a few years, that Meghan wants Gavin Newsom to appoint her as a senator if and when Dianne Feinstein has to step down, which we hope is very soon, by the way, because she's sitting there in Congress being told what to vote for. It's just a ludicrous joke. Her and Mitch, he's out there stroking out in front of the press. Let's just move them to the side, please. But okay, we shouldn't replace them with Meghan Markle. And the latest rumor is that she's been hounding Newsom so badly that he has blocked her number, and he said, "Don't put her through. I don't want to." He's changing numbers. He's gone into hiding. He resigned. He resigned the governorship because he just couldn't deal with it anymore.
Oh man. It sounds like something someone would do if someone was acting wacky like that. I'd probably like their number too. I don't know. She's not entitled to that position or that role. She has to earn it. And I haven't seen any effort on her part to reach out to the people, to go to the front lines, to strike, to communicate with the public. Just hiding and then doing this weird manipulation thing behind the scenes. It's very odd. I'm not for it. I don't like it. Thumbs down.
Look, she wouldn't be the first celebrity to run for high office without experience. Schwarzenegger ran for governor and won and served 2 terms without experience. Reagan, became president, but first he served as governor of California also.
Well, prior to that, he was the president of SAG, the Screen Actors Guild. Actually, he was the president when there was this major strike. It was 1960. That's the last time that both the Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild were in solidarity with their strikes. So he was the president during that time. He ran the Screen Actors Guild for a little while there, and then he was a governor of California. So he, put his time in, so to speak.
Definitely. Those guys had a little bit more executive experience. Of course, you got Donald Trump as well, who had no political experience, had held no office, and he managed to run and win. So it wouldn't be unprecedented for her.
Yeah, but Donald Trump's a little different, though, because Donald Trump was running, he was running a global operation, and also he was involved heavily with politicians with raising money and coordinating dinners, and he was behind the scenes pulling a lot of strings for certain things to happen in the city. So he was loosely politically adjacent for a while. So it wasn't like he just came out of left field.
Right. Which is why out of all of those celebs who have run, she is like by far the least qualified. I mean, she had a career on television as Suits and Deal or No Deal, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to become a working actor or actress and
Oh, yeah.
achieve any kind of notoriety. So I don't take anything away from her there. She managed to marry the prince and take him away from his family. These are all accomplishments in one sense or another. But this is not like it's just the arrogance to think, and now I can run for president. Like this isn't a California recall election where we're gonna have Gary Coleman and the porn stars and everybody running. Okay, this is like the president.
Mary Carey.
Yeah. Unless
even the dogs don't like it. They're barking at this stuff.
They're barking at it. I know it's hard now. I can't quiet them when we're live. Unless she runs as a Republican. Now that would be interesting because there's going to be probably a big primary this year. I know a lot of people haven't announced, but like with DeSantis falling behind, Trump having, he's up in the air. What's going to happen with him because of all the indictments? I wonder if more Republicans are going to jump in, especially if they smell blood in the water. Meghan Markle, Republican. Now, how about that? She could actually win if she just gave up on this whole I'm a liberal Democrat darling thing. She could, I think, get an apparatus behind her as a Republican candidate. She's a woman of color. She's a woman. She could battle all of those things that Democrats would try to throw at DeSantis or Trump, the white man running again, straight white man running for president again, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Here you got Meghan Markle.
Yeah, they said all that. And then who's the person they pushed to the front, which was Biden, a white male. So they're just all talk.
Is he white? I didn't realize that. No, of course.
They're just all
talk.
Of course. It's all a bunch of malarkey going on over there.
Yeah, well, let's just see real quick what Valerie Biden Owens had to say. Like,
I value
no offense to Valerie Biden Owens, but like, what the hell does she really know? Like, her brother is president, but what does her endorsement even matter?
It doesn't. It's just something to throw on the news so people click on it. It's clickbait.
It's funny. I think a lot of political people are keeping Meghan at an arm's length. I could find, when I was putting the story together, I couldn't find any pictures of her with a prominent politician. I couldn't find pictures of her with Hillary. I couldn't find pictures of her with Kamala. I couldn't find pictures of her with Biden. Prince Harry, on the other hand, there are pictures of him sitting courtside with Obama and Biden prior to getting with Meghan. I think that the common denominator of disdain is Meghan Markle. The elites, but also
she's a usurper. But also he knows how to connect the dots and make things happen and go out and shake hands and be in the public eye. She's like a recluse and hides and doesn't go to anything.
And of course, he was still the prince at that time, and they want to be close to royalty. It's like now you have no power.
The whole thing is bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she would bring anything at all to the Democratic side. I know they don't have much of a bench. I know there are not outside of Gavin Newsom, and I don't know. AOC, I guess, is always a potential somewhere down the line, but she's don't have. Unhinged. Yeah, but she's at least an experienced politician at this point, so she could theoretically, although. I don't know. The vitriol, I don't even know if she wants to go through that.
She's a nut job.
The amount of attention she gets just being a rep from New York, from the Bronx, is imagine she was running for president. It would be like,
I don't know,
suffocating. But they don't
imagine voting for her for president to run our country. Come on.
Yeah. They would be, it would be a crazy campaign. She should run against Trump. Screw it. Let's just make this the most fiery campaign that we can possibly have.
It's gonna be a wild run, that's for sure. I don't see any other dark horse contenders. I don't really know who's gonna even come out of the woodwork. As of right now, it's looking like Trump and Biden. Those are the front runners, which is insane. It's sad, but that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Meghan just wants the office. I don't know if she wants to have to run and do
she
all
wants to be
that.
given it, and then she'll probably go once a week, and she'll just. It's who knows, man. The whole thing's a mess. I mean,
Again,
it just sounds like a bunch of malarkey, dude.
Megan, switch your affiliation, switch your allegiance. Go to the right. Go
Well, I mean, the
right.
fact that Gavin
Yeah,
Newsom's hiding from her. I mean, the fact that Gavin's that Gavin's hiding from her tells me that he probably doesn't want to deal with her anymore.
No, Justin, that's the thing. All her Democrat friends are turning on her anyway. Oprah, Gavin, all her neighbors in Montecito want nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
Hollywood wants nothing to do. She's got nowhere else to turn if she wants a future in politics.
Yeah, well, she's got to go to the dark side.
She's Harry would leave her. It'd be perfect for Harry too. I can't stand it. I had to leave her.
There's like a villain. It's like a villain. Second villain story.
Villain arc. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny stuff. Let's talk about another semi-political story. It's not really political though. It's just about the marketing of Barbenheimer. Now, did you see either Barbie or Oppenheimer?
No.
You didn't. Okay. I saw them both. I did. I saw them on the opening weekend. I went with my fiance. Both good movies. They were obviously,
great. Are they both great?
Close to great.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
God, 8. I mean,
I want to see.
I want to see Oppenheimer one more time because I had a couple of beers, and by the end of it, I was like, "What's going on?"
Did you fall asleep? Did you fall asleep, dude? Be honest.
I didn't fall asleep, but I just sort of
checked out,
started hallucinating. Yeah.
How many beers did you have? Did you have IPAs?
Well, where I go, you go to these Cinemark theaters, are the best theaters that there are. And you go to the luxury lounge recliner seats. So you're reclining and you get this gigantic cold beer stein with a Sierra Nevada hazy IPA. It's delicious. The perfect thing to watch.
I knew it was an IPA. When you said that you were zonked out, I knew it was an IPA.
Yeah, but it's a long movie. So I was like, I got to grab 2 and then go in and sit down. And by the end of it,
out. Well, IPAs have a heavy hops content, and hops is the cousin of marijuana.
I didn't know that, but I do know that they get you a lot drunker. So that's how I like to see movies.
Hops and marijuana are cousins.
They taste similar.
Yeah. And they smell similar.
Yeah. Well, these things were marketed together as like the movie event of the summer. They're both coming out on the same weekend. They're both wildly different and yet weirdly similar. And the Japanese took offense because it was getting kind of comical and absurd. And they're like, hey, Oppenheimer, his bomb nuked 2 of our cities and killed a bunch of people and created horrific suffering. So what's the big joke here? Do you think it's funny if we make a Barbenheimer joke about 9/11? And so they started putting out all these memes, about Barbie and 9/11 together. Here's Barbie sitting on the shoulder of Osama bin Laden. And they're like, how do you like it? They were very upset. Warner Brothers had to apologize. Do you think they were being a little sensitive?
No, I agree with them. I think they're right. I think Japan has a point. I think Japanese youth and whoever's involved in it is also correct. I look, this is them retaliating for what they feel was an attack first. These memes came out that were insensitive about what happened to their country. And I think that, when it didn't happen to you or your family or your bloodline, then it's very easy to say, oh, whatever, who cares? But it happened to them, and it was a devastating thing. It was tragic what happened. Obviously, we were in a war. Decisions are made to win the war that are, bad in a lot of ways. And so, you can make that argument. That's another whole argument to go down. But regardless, it happened. And I do agree that it was insensitive. And so I don't blame them for showing us what that kind of the connection that they're making. So I'm on their side. I agree with them. I think it was insensitive.
Yeah. I mean, I got to be honest. I I'm no fan of 9/11. I want to make that clear, but I wasn't really
You're talking about
offended by it.
you talking about the tragic thing that happened, or the telephone operating system?
Both. But I want to defund 9/11, the attacks,
The
not the
attacks.
police, but the attacks. I would like to defund the attacks. Uh, I mean, I did chuckle at a couple of their 9/11 memes because they were kind of funny. I mean, look at that. You got Osama bin Laden with Margot Robbie sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. You got how do you think, you idiots, with the pink smoke coming out? I mean, look, it's been 22 years. It's still horrible. Every September 11th, I watch on TLC, the History Channel, they play all these old 9/11 documentaries where it's like the day of. What is it called? Like 90 minutes that changed America or something like that. It really is a sobering reminder of what happened.
Yeah. No,
Instead,
I no, you're right.
everything. I mean, it's gallows humor. You know what I mean?
I mean, also we have to wonder if this was all a marketing scheme.
Yeah.
This is Hollywood. They want to get attention. Maybe they did this on purpose. Maybe they had actors on the internet posing as Japanese youth that were upset and making these memes to start this sort of, I don't know, this like meme war, and that kind of promotes the movies.
Definitely. I wonder about the whole Barbenheimer thing to begin with. I feel initially both movies were probably unhappy that they were going to be opening on the same weekend, but then the marketing people got together and said, look, let's cook something up. Okay. Well, Barbenheimer, we'll start pushing memes out, and then it'll catch on and it'll start organically growing. And, it was a good idea. It did create a big sense of anticipation. I also think that Americans are just too far removed, especially in the American youth. This one's kind of funny. This is one of the memes that would have pissed off the Japanese. Barbie, the destroyer of worlds. There she is with a nice pink mushroom cloud. Now imagine your grandfather was incinerated in that mushroom cloud. I get it. You wouldn't be too happy about it. But I think young Americans in particular they're too far removed from World War II that they don't even really understand what happened. They just know the mushroom cloud. They don't know the horror of what befell those people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. But I'm wondering now if we have all the success from these two movies and they kind of join forces in their marketing and it's working. I know Hollywood, and it's a copycat industry. So we're going to see other movies now released at the same time and also join forces in their marketing. This might start a trend, is what I'm saying.
I'm sure there's going to be like horrible, like not funny, stupid attempts to recapture the magic of Barbenheimer.
What would be like two movies that you'd see them combine, like that would come out?
I'm trying to think of what's coming out right now.
Smurfs, like maybe the Smurfs.
Yeah, I know that there's a movie called Meg 2, The Trench, coming out about the giant shark. Maybe like Meg 2 and Haunted Mansion or something.
Yeah, I mean, what's right now? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is coming out.
Ninja Turtles, yeah.
So that Ninja Turtles and
Tom Cruise had to be pissed too, because Mission Impossible was coming out at the same time. And he was upset, first of all, that Oppenheimer was taking up all of the IMAX screens because Mission Impossible should be seen on IMAX for some reason.
Oh, and yeah.
Then he ended up having to move his movie. He bumped his movie weekend up by like a week or two so that it could have its own opening because he was also upset. But now I bet he's like, oh, why didn't we get in on this Barbenheimer thing? Why'd they leave us out? Why'd they leave Tom out? And Mission.
He's not going to be able to pay rent now.
Could have been Barbenheimer impossible. He's probably pissed at his marketing.
He's not going to make his car payments now. This is going to be a problem.
Oh, he's been evicted from one of his mansions for sure.
He's in trouble.
I don't know. I think ultimately it will be forgotten and we will look back.
Like so many things.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe the world, are you saying that the world needs another nuke to go off to remind people? Is that what you said?
I never said that. I'm a man of peace. I want peace, damn it. Okay. Peace. A nuke.
Okay, just making sure.
The only thing I'm nuking is in the microwave, dude. Little pizza, bro. Maybe some popcorn.
Can you believe these irresponsible bastards, by the way? Back in 1960, they nuked the atmosphere. They let off a nuke above Earth to see what would happen. It could have killed us all.
What
And
happened?
they did it.
What
It
happened?
just it went off, and they learned something from it. But we survived. But like what they were doing with the nukes back then was totally just irresponsible.
What they do with a lot of things in the name of science is irresponsible. This seems to be a common denominator amongst scientists. They're reckless, I tell you.
COVIDheimer. Can we get
Curiosity killed the scientists.
There you go.
They're very curious people. They're too curious. They're a bunch of cats in lab coats.
No plans to see either one, huh?
I don't watch movies or TV shows.
Well, you like Tucker Carlson. He says he doesn't watch stuff either.
I don't watch movies or TV shows. The last movie that I watched was a documentary on Action Park, the water park in New Jersey. That was wild. It's called Class Action Park or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I watched that documentary on Action Park. That was because I went there as a kid, so I had to see it. So I saw that. That was a trip. And then the last TV show I watched, I watch sports and I watch like Wheel of Fortune and I watch Jeopardy. But the last television show that I watched was probably Tiger King during the lockdowns.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Shouldn't they have made it about Pearl Harbor, maybe? Shouldn't they have made the memes about Pearl Harbor since like that was what they did to us? Like, why are they taking credit for Osama bin Laden's thing? That's Al Qaeda's thing. Is that trademark infringement? Japanese should have hit us back about Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I suppose the memes don't work as well with that because everyone's like Pearl Harbor.
Barbenheimer. I don't know.
Have you ever seen when they do Man on the Street and they ask people questions about our country? Nobody knows. People don't even know that 1776 is the year this country was founded. People are not very smart.
I've seen jaywalking where Jay Leno goes out and goes, "Hey, what do you think? Do you think that the guy at Barbenheimer?"
No, and nobody knows anything. Nobody knows what state. Nobody knows how many states there are. Nobody knows anything. They don't know what year our country was founded. They don't know who we fought in the Revolutionary War. They don't know. They just don't know. People are not really very educated. So I would imagine these memes are like, at least the 9/11 memes are a little more closer to, modern history. So people remember. And even those people, there's probably some young kids that don't even know.
Barbie and Ken, they took a suicide mission into the World Trade Center. This is true, Kevin.
Yeah. Got to throw on a jeans. Yeah, you got to throw on a denim shirt if you want to do that.
All right, let's move on to some sad news for the world of fighting. Apparently, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are not going to get down with each other. Forget about the Coliseum. Forget about even the T-Mobile Center in Vegas. It's just Mark Zuckerberg was on a call, or he was doing a town hall with his Meta employees recently, and he said that he's not sure if it's going to come together. He was recently promoted to blue belt in jiu-jitsu, by the way. So I said it before. I didn't think Elon was going to go through with it. I think he must have realized Mark has such a head start on him. He's younger. He's more fit. He's got the training. Like, I don't care if you get in there with Georges St. Pierre. You're not going to be able to make up a couple years worth of training in 3 months. And I also bet he thought, what is this going to do to my stock price? When I smoked weed on the Joe Rogan Experience, stock price plummeted. Can I afford that right now? I'm so over leveraged with Twitter and like the whole mess excuse me, I didn't mean to misgender it. I'm so overwhelmed with X that I can't take the risk. I don't need to be margin called or whatever. So I think he could just quietly pulled out of this.
So you think he pulled out? Is that what you think happened?
I think, but why would Musk or Zuckerberg doesn't want to pull out? Because Musk basically beats Zuckerberg in every way, like socially. Like, he's more popular in our culture. He's funnier. He's got multiple different companies that are doing well, Twitter aside, which is Twitter is still like extremely relevant. It's just not profitable. But Musk has that gigantic failure that causes him to lay off thousands of employees called, I can't even remember the name of it. That's how like lame it was. What was it called? The metaverse. The metaverse. Yeah. Yeah. So he's just like been a failure. This would have been like a really great win for Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, if he wins, I mean, look, there's potential he was going to win, but it's not guaranteed he was going to win. There's a possibility that Musk was going to win. Musk is taller, he's heavier, he's bigger. I mean, there's no guarantee that Zuckerberg's going to win just because he's been training longer. He's got a blue belt. What does that mean?
That means
I've got a white belt.
He's one step above a white belt.
White belt.
And he looks more shredded. We saw those shirtless pictures of him with Israel Adesanya and Volkanovski. Elon, you can take Ozempic, you can get fat sucked out, but it doesn't mean you got muscle.
But I've watched UFC. Sometimes the guys that look like they're out of shape win. You can't go by that. Yeah.
Of course, to be fair, also, he may have pulled out because he's just too busy. I mean, he's running.
Well,
Twitter.
also, he's in trouble with
SpaceX. Yeah. Oh, right.
I tell you what, Zuckerberg's in trouble with his wife, though. That's a battle he's going to lose.
What's that? What do you mean?
Zuckerberg's wife is upset with him for ruining the grass that she worked 2 years on. She spent 2 years working on the grass, and he texted her, "Did you see the octagon I put in the back?" And she's like, "I saw it." And he's like, "We have plenty of room." And she goes, "I was working on that grass for 2 years. Hell hath no fury."
Like a lot of people
scorned.
A lot of people died to make that grass, I'm sure.
I mean, if his wife's in his ear and she's nagging at him, he's going to walk into that ring with a little bit of a distraction.
That's true.
That's a head game. Look, anyone will tell you that sports are 90% your head. The other 50% is whatever happens in the ring.
Right. That's a direct quote, I believe. Yeah, well, I'm upset. I thought this was going to be huge. It was probably going to be the most expensive ticket of all time. Especially if they did it in the Coliseum. It would have
been cool.
Historic event. I hope that they can figure out a way to do it at some point. Maybe Elon just felt like he needed more time. It was being rushed. So we'll see. But for now, Zuckerberg's telling his employees that it's probably not going to happen. So, oh well.
Or they're just throwing everybody off or something. Who knows?
Cancel your bets.
Cancel your bets.
All right. Well,
into the resurrection.
That's right. The resurrection of Christ or someone else?
I don't know. Jim Morrison, maybe.
There you go. All right, everybody. It's been a great live episode. We're going to do this more often. And remember to subscribe down below to clickpop.substack.com. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, ClickPop2. And subscribe to YouTube so you can get the notifications. Turn on the bell so you know when we're live. Anything you'd like to say, Justin, before we wrap this up?
Make sure you wear sunscreen.
That's right. Great.
You don't want to get a burn like me. I got burned, dude. Sucks.
Oh, yeah. It's so hot out there. I went outside for like an hour today. I couldn't take it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. See you later.
See ya.